We are continuing our unit on probability today, and we will be talking about spinners. Here is an example of a spinner. You may have seen a spinner before in a game or at a fair, and today we are going to analyze this spinner using probability words. And remember, analyze means to look closely. So we're going to look closely at the spinner and we're going to use probability words. Just to remind you of the probability words that we've talked about so far this unit, we will be using the words certain, likely, equally likely, unlikely, and impossible. Let's start with the word certain. Which color am I certain to land on? Well, if I were to spin this spinner, I could land on red, yellow, green, or blue. I'm not actually certain to land on any specific color. So no color is certain, since there is more than one color on this spinner. If the spinner was just one color, then I would be certain to land on that color. Let's move on to likely. If I were to spin this spinner, which color would I be most likely to land on? I can answer this question by seeing which color is on the spinner most. As you can see, there are 3 yellow spaces on this spinner. Yellow appears the most on the spinner, so it is most likely that the spinner will land on the yellow space. Equally likely. Now, which 2 colors are equally likely to be landed on if I were to spin this spinner? We need to find 2 colors that show up on this spinner the same amount. Looking at the green on the spinner, there are 2 green spaces, and looking at the red on this spinner, there are 2 red spaces. So it is equally likely to land on either red or green. Unlikely. If I were to spin this spinner, which color am I unlikely to land on? Which color is on the spinner the least? Yes, blue. There is only 1 blue space on this spinner, which is less than all the other colors. So it is unlikely to land on blue. Finally, let's talk about the word impossible. If I were to spin this spinner, which color would it be impossible for me to land on? Now, for this question, I could choose any color that I don't see pictured here. So I've written that it is impossible to land on orange because there is no orange on the spinner. I could also say purple or brown or black, whichever color is not pictured here. I also want to use this spinner to talk about how we can use fractions to describe probability. We just finished up our fractions unit, so I know that you will all be experts here. Now, looking at the yellow on the spinner, I see that 3 spaces are yellow. So I can create a fraction and I can say that 3/8, because my spinner is divided into 8 equal sections, 3/8 of the spinner is yellow. So I can write a probability sentence using that fraction, and I can say that the probability of landing on yellow is 3 in 8. 3 in 8. That's a probability sentence. Let me move on to a different color. Blue. 1 of the spaces of this spinner is blue. So I can say that 1/8 of the spinner is blue. And to change that into a probability sentence, we say that the probability of landing on blue is 1 in 8. We say the numerator first, 1, then we say the word in, and then we say the denominator, 8. 1 in 8. Now my question for you is, what is the probability of landing on green? Can you fill out this sentence? The probability is blank in blank? Well, we know that the spinner is divided into 8 equal sections and 2 of the sections are green. So we say the probability is 2 in 8. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have fun spinning your spinners today.